Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another review video. This time I want to look at a movie from Sony Pictures Animations called Mitchells vs. the Machines. Yes, Mitchells vs. the Machines. This film came out in April 23rd, 2021. This film is actually a pretty interesting one that I want to talk about, but before I do that, remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. There I will, you guys can keep up with my content and all that. You guys can also watch other videos too if you guys are not interested in reviews, because I do gaming videos and do other stuff too. But I think I got all that said, so now let's go ahead and talk about the movie. So, Mitchells vs. the Machines, as I stated, it came out, as you guys see up there in, 2021. But fun fact, I have a fun fact for this video. I haven't had one of these in a long time, but the fun fact here is that this film was going to release in 2020, and all that. It was going to release then, and it was going to be called Connected instead of Mitchells vs. the Machines. But due to the pandemic, it got pushed back. And I have to say though, I think it being called Mitchells vs. the Machines, I kind of like that name better than Connected. I mean, Connected is a good name too, because you have it's about family and having each other's backs and all that, and it's also got a lot of technology in it. It's got a lot of stuff in it, when it comes connected, a lot of times you connect technology to devices and all that. That's kind of what happens is we have a phone and all that. She basically feels betrayed and all that, and she basically uses her software to connect and hack into devices and all that to take over the world and get rid of the humans. And then you got the Mitchells versus the machine. Well, the Mitchells themselves, their goal is to they're supposed to be working together, having a nice time and all that. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. But I do like the Mitchells versus the Machines. I think that's a lot better title. I think it's more unique. And the other one's not a bad title either, but I think this one's way more unique. All that. So I'm guessing they were probably they weren't gonna bother changing it because it was supposed to come out already. They probably already looked at the title and it was like, maybe we should have called it something else. But then they were gonna be releasing it, but then they got pushed back. So they're like, you know what? If it's gonna get pushed back, let's just call it something else. Let's call it something different. And I like that. I do like that a lot and all that. It's pretty nice and whatnot. And all that. And speaking of nice, I will say I really do like the animation style in this movie. This movie actually has a better animation style than Spider Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I think the animation, and that's saying something because that movie has a really good animation style too. This one's the same way. I will say though, some of it can be a little distracting. There can be randomly just emojis and stickers just popping out of nowhere. It just feels kind of random. But for the most part, I think they do a very good job with the animation style and all that. Especially with technology, they use a lot of technology stuff. Something I feel like the Emoji Movie could have used. I don't think that would have saved it because that movie was just boring, but it would have made it look, more unique and all that, so because that movie also focused on technology aspects too and in emojis, I mean, they do have, they do have them, like, they have, like, random stuff where, like, like, their hearts come out of their faces and all that, too, and all that, when they have emotions, like they do in this, movie, too, but this movie just does it way better. I think it looks way better. And all that, and I gotta say, I think this movie is very relatable, like, I already kind of forgot the red-haired girl's name, but I will say I can kind of relate with her and all that, like how, like she's trying to, like, but she doesn't feel like her and her dad can connect. I feel like that's how me and my dad are too, we just don't connect very well, like we just don't have a lot in common and all that, and it's very hard to connect. And that's kind of how it feels like with her, too. Now, in this case, I think they both are they do both have issues. I think they both can be selfish at times. But they have to learn to grow, to appreciate each other's stuff, like what the dad wants to, like, spend time with his family. He feels like his family's on technology too much and all that, and They don't make him a complete unlikable character. He does get kind of annoyed with this stuff, but he doesn't get very emotional and all that, and he's trying to reconnect with his daughter. They all are, because all the family members are going to be losing their daughter because she's going off to college, so they want to have one last family, time to spend together. And he felt bad for what happened, so he basically, wanted to take him on a road trip one last time. You know what? I gotta say, I wish I could take road trips and all that. Well, I get to take road trips sometimes, but unlike this movie, honestly, in real life, it can be very annoying. Like my siblings, there's a difference between being kind of annoying and just in general, but my siblings won't just fight, but they'll talk about wanting to die and this and that, and I'm like, I don't want to listen to that stuff in the car, and all that, and that's kind of why taking road trips for me can be kind of hard, but for this kind of family, I feel like it works. They get to go to places they want to go and all that, and all that. And yeah, I know siblings are supposed to fight, but, when you gotta listen to that stuff in the car, it's really annoying, and then on top of that, for someone like me, I don't really get to go anywhere special anyway. I'm kind of just going in a trip and all that, we're in the same state and all that, so I don't know. I just don't know what to say. That it's just it's kind of annoying. Like, I'm not gonna lie, having a road trip. I wish I could have road trips like they do on cartoons. It's so much more fun. But that's just kind of how it is. But, trying to find, other ways to cope with this stuff, too, is pretty good, too. Like playing board games or something with your family and all that, too, can be good, too. And, I don't mind taking road trips. I just don't like taking road trips with my siblings and all that because of all that stuff. But I will say it is a very good, thing what they do this movie and all that, and like I said, the red-haired girl too, she also does have her problems too. She has her, big problems too, where she doesn't want to be around her family at all. I'm not sure why. I was trying to figure that out watching the movie. I'm gonna assume maybe it's because they make her embarrassed. I don't know. But it is kind of strange, to see that and whatnot. But it is strange, and I do kind of, and I do kind of like that, like how they both, like her and her father, are growing to like each other and all that, and it's pretty nice and all that. And there are some funny moments in this movie too and all that. Like, I like the boy and all. I like how his he has a crush on this girl and all that, which is their neighbors and all that, which they don't really, I think they're kind of jealous of their neighbors and all that. And I have to say, one of the neighbors, the mom, I actually had not brought her up, but other neighbors, because they only appear a couple of times throughout the movie. But I do like how she. Well, I don't really care for her design too much because her head kind of looks funny. Like she looks like Jesus, but she had like plastic surgery and stuff done on her. I don't know. It just looks kind of like her design looks off. You know, like all the other humans look normal, but her head looks all funny and all that. Like I don't really care for her design too much. You know, and all that. Like unlike the other characters and all that. In the background, people, you know, she just looks very weird and all that, like, but she's also only on screen. She's only on screen for a few scenes in the movie and all that, but I still don't really care for her design too much, but, because I'm not even joking, like, she literally does look like Jesus had plastic surgery done and all that, and it went horribly wrong, and like I'm not kidding. Like she does look like she's a female Jesus. It just, and that doesn't look very good and all that. But you know, and all that. I mean, because I've seen pictures of Jesus and all that. I mean, I'm not a religion person myself, but I have seen some pictures of him, and I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of that. That might be a funny thing to point out, but it's true. But yeah. But I gotta say, I do really like a lot of moments in this movie and all that. And I like, too, how, like, a lot of the movie does take place in 2020 as well. Because I was thinking this movie was probably going to come out in 2020, because that's what a lot of the dates, show and all that. But yeah, it got like part of the movie got sold to Netflix, so Netflix owns, part of the movie and all that. So yeah, that it's probably not going to leave Netflix anytime soon. I mean, it could in the future because technically Sony still owns the movie, but I mean, I don't know if it's like some of the 20th Century Fox, movies were like even though they were partially made under of that brand, like when Disney bought out Fox, they didn't actually get all the movie rights, and some of them they had, but they lost the rights to them because they were only partnered up with them. So I'm not sure how that'll work with this movie, but it does have the Netflix logo and all that. Which I'm gonna say this, I actually do miss the Netflix old jingle it used to have. It did sound very similar to like the 20th Century Fox one, which is what I just talked about. Like if you get some DVDs and all that, like a Family Guy or something, it'll play the jingle. But honestly, I just don't really care. I mean, I don't really care for the new Netflix one that much. It's just like, instead of it being a music, it's just like a sound effect. They just play a sound effect, and it sounds very off. Like, it does sound very off. It doesn't sound like, I mean, it's not the worst sound I've ever heard, but it's still not a very great sound, and I kind of wish it would just play music again, But I have the DVD, and it has that jingle in it, so yeah. And I think like Vivo might be the same way, because Vivo is another movie I'm going to be reviewing too, and it's the same way, I think, where it plays that sound and all that. So I don't know, but it's on Netflix too. But I think Wish Dragon might be too. I don't know how many movies they made under them, but because they partnered up with them when the pandemic hit. Because I know I think they sold their streaming platform and all that. I think they either sold it or they shut it down, and Sony just partnered up with like Netflix. So I don't really know, but it's just kind of interesting and all that with all that stuff. So yeah, but I do wish it still had the original Netflix music that plays, but it doesn't. But I'm trying to think what else is there really to say? Like, what else is there to say? I think I've kind of talked about pretty much everything. Well, there is the part I want to talk about. That this is something that I don't really like about the movie. I was thinking that the father and daughter dynamic thing was going to be kind of annoying throughout the movie, but I think they actually handle it pretty good. Yeah, they make them both unlikable, but they don't make them too unlikable to where you hate the characters. But I'll tell you one character I hate. I don't know his name. I don't know. Did they ever say his name in the movie? He's a black guy and all. He kind of looks like that BJ Box guy from I don't think I've seen any YouTube videos like with there's like where like he has like cartoon characters beatbox together and all that. I mean they're all right. I mean they're not like bad videos, but I'm kind of more I do like they're dynamic with each other. Like they have like one where SpongeBob and Patrick battle out with beatboxing, music and all that. It's pretty funny. That's kind of what he reminds me of too. He kind of looks like the guy and all that, but like the way his character is designed. But but yeah, I don't think that YouTuber is actually active anymore. I think he quit. But his channel is still active, so you guys can still watch it on there. But yeah, I did really enjoy his content there and all that. It was pretty nice, but I didn't think it was great, but I did enjoy it. But basically, what I'm trying to say is he's basically he's the one that caused the entire apocalypse. Basically, which is honestly, it's crazy how relatable this crap is too now. I mean, we literally have AI and technology taking over people's jobs and all that. It's very crazy. This is why I don't use my phone. I mean, people can use their phones to like change the temperature in the house and all that. I don't do that. I prefer just to not have technology doing that because that's the problem. It can only take like one thing. Or one person to hack the entire thing, and then basically the technology can malfunction or something. That's the problem. It literally can happen like that. That's scary. That's the scary part about technology. But that's the thing, though. That's kind of the world we're kind of in now. It's kind of scary. So I'll use technology, but I won't use I won't use a device that can hack one thing and the other, and all that. That's where it can sync into one device and the other. I won't really do that much. I mean, I do have there's apps like YouTube and all that. I'll do that stuff, but I won't use it to control a refrigerator and turn it on or off, because you can do that with lights too and all that. I will not do that. That's not something I would do, But basically what happens is he pisses off this phone. I forgot her name. I don't remember the names of these characters. I probably should have wrote them down, but was not thinking on that one. But what happens is he's kind of a dick, and basically, he is a dick. He basically throws her away like trash. He tells her that he's their family and all that because she was worried about being replaced, and he throws her in the freaking trash, pisses her off, and she basically goes on this rampage and controls the technology because she's pissed at him and the humans or the way she was treated. Now the thing is, though, you shouldn't really blame all the humans for this, because that was his fault. It was his fault that this happened, and all that, But yes, it was his fault, what happened there. And they even make him kind of cringe and all that. But basically, they make him kind of as bad as Brian from Family Guy. Well, at least the later seasons, because the earlier seasons he was still a great character. But what they did is they kind of wrote his character and made him, whenever he talks, they make him have to make these stupid ass puns and all that, and and make him a douche, and that's kind of what they freaking did with this guy. They made him a douche and made him selfish, and he never even fucking apologized for what he did, you know. So I'm like, I don't really like this guy. I think this guy is just an asshole, you know. I mean, I probably wouldn't hate him as bad if they would make him apologize for what he did, but he never apologizes for what he does. They make the redhead girl, you know, one of the Mitchells, you know, do that because, you know, he didn't fucking apologize. It's just sad. Like, I'm not kidding. It is literally just depressing what they do here and all that. And it really is just, that's kind of that's about the only big thing I really don't like about it. And like I said, I think they do kind of go a little at it with the Mitchells too. They kind of do. I think make them a little. They have their unlikable moments a little too much, but they still feel like they're not too unlikable, and they grow as characters. You know, you give them a reason for why they're acting the way they are. They don't do that here. They don't do that at all. They just basically make with the villain and all that, and the guy. They don't make him, you know, learn his lesson and apologize. You know, I mean, well, he learns his lesson. You know, not to like. You use technology for everything, which is good, but you know, but still, he tosses you know, his you know, family member, like, because that's what she was, his family, and she basically tosses her aside and puts her in a trash bag and all that. It's freaking depressing. So I don't know, I kind of just feel bad for the villain and all that in a way, and that's not a good thing to say. You don't want to feel bad for the villain. You want the villain to be, you want to hate the villain, you know, like you don't want to hate the villain so bad, like, where it's hard to watch on screen, but you want to hate the villain where you know, you want them to get them their comeuppance for what they did, you know, and them get defeated, but I don't know, I feel like they kind of do hit or miss job with that, like, yeah, basically they had her, like, go up there and try to explain, you know, that you know, humans and family are very good and all that, and she does try to kill her by throwing her off. But I think, you know, I think she tries to throw her off the cliff. I think that's what happens and all that, which causes her downfall. But still, I mean, it's still kind of, you know, it's still basically, you know, just it's still kind of upsetting, you know, what happened to her and why she's the way she is, you know, but, like, I think they could have just maybe made that a little bit better and all that, but otherwise, yeah, this movie's really not that bad. I think this movie is definitely really good, and I think I'm going to go ahead and say this movie deserves a good and 100 points. Yep, it's getting 100 points and not 120 because of, you know, like I feel like they executed the well, I mean, they made the villain really good, but I feel like they executed it kind of a little poorly and all that. And I do think there's some moments in the movie where I do think some of the stuff does feel a little cringe, and goes on a little too long. Like, we didn't really need, you know, a ton of, I think we had like 3 or 4 like moments where like people hated well, like when they had the family, you know, need to get along and all that. Like, I don't think we needed that like this many times, but otherwise, I think they did a pretty good job here, and I really do like that. I do like seeing them actually become the hero and all that, you know, and it's pretty nice. But yeah, it's pretty nice to see that, and, you know, and all that, but you know, I don't know, but I just basically, you know, but like I said, this movie's still really good. I still really like it. I still think I do really like the animation. I think it's one of the best, probably one of the best, you know, Sony Pictures animation movies. And I don't know, I think this movie, I don't know, I'm gonna say this movie or Spider-Verse may be my favorite, you know, and all that. Like, I haven't really been thinking about my favorite. I need to probably be doing that because I'm getting close to the end of all this, but I don't know, I feel like, you know, they do a pretty good job. I mean, I think, you know, like, this movie has really good animation like Spider-Verse, but I think this movie, also has, moments I like more. Like, I think the villain, all of the villain, like I said, her reasoning was kind of executed, poorly. Like, I feel like, they gave her a good reason to why she did this, but she didn't really, she kind of, well, I mean, her owner and all that, they kind of made him unlikable and all that. But I did like how, unlike the Spider-Verse, at least, we saw a villain demise and all of that, Like, I really do like that a lot. I thought that was a pretty good thing. But I'm probably going to go ahead and just end up letting things go from here. I don't actually have a comment question for this, but I definitely would recommend this movie. This movie is definitely really good. Well, also, one more thing before I do go. I do want to state that I don't think I pointed this out yet, but with the whole the word review and all that, as you guys can see, sometimes the letters and all that are like zoomed out and spread out all over the place. And sometimes they're normal, but just they have big spaces like you see right here with the word review. That is because sometimes I'll do that like one way or the other because it's supposed to be a Sony Pictures animation thing, because it references, Sony's logo and all that. So I figured why not do it like that, because I don't know if I've ever pointed that out or not. I also don't have a comment question for this video, but I figured, this is still kind of nice here and all that, but and all that. I mean, I don't think every video needs a comment question, but I wouldn't mind having some more and all that in the future. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and let things go from here. See you all later. Have a nice, wonderful day. Oops, I did the wrong one. Sorry about that. That's got to go over here. Anywho, bye-bye.